Hello everyone. So I've decided to come out in a wander, even though it looks like it's going to rain, and I was going to attempt to go somewhere I haven't really been before. Now, weirdly, I always end up feeling rather sick. I get this sort of sick feeling if I'm going somewhere I don't know. And I normally always have my daughter with us. For to do that, I think I've only ever gone somewhere once. So I've only ever gone somewhere once on my own without her. And I have been up the other side of this road because that is where the park is over there. And I've also been at the end on the top of this side of the road because that is where the Grange is. And but I've never been up this side. I mean, this road is so busy, so I'm hoping that you can hear us. So I'm not really sure what the paths are like and stuff. What I usually do, or what I have done, is I've gone on Google Maps, had a look to see if I could see how the drop down curbs were. So I just wanted to kind of do it's kind of a video of going somewhere a little bit new, but being in a wheelchair where you have to think of more things that could possibly happen. I mean, I never thought about how uneven the paths are until having this, obviously when you walk and you don't think about it, do you? It's just not something you need to think of. Also, it's not something you need to think about how the curbs go. I mean, like for instance, it's not great really for a wheelchair. Actually, I don't know if I'll get up that side. No, I'm not going to be able to. Alright, so I can't get up that side because I can't turn in the space. So I just have to go back the way I came, cross over the road down here. It's so frustrating. Like, I know everything's meant, and I mean, God, years ago they wouldn't have even had this, but like there's still so much that needs to be done. But typically this comes up. This is a crossing here, but even things like that, like if I haven't crossed them before, they always make us more nervous. Cross this bit. Also, there's not that much space here, right? And I can't actually, these are kind of set back a bit, so I need to turn and then line back up, but there's just no way I can turn in this space here to line back up. So I'm just going to have to go across without pressing. Oh my God. So then things like this make us feel anxious. In a sense, I wish I'd stayed on this side of the road now, because I know that I can get to the top of here on this side, because I've been up this side to the Grange before, the pub. But the reason I decided to cross over earlier was, well, like I said, I need to find different ways to make sure I can get in certain ways and know which way I can and can't go. But also, I want to be on that side anyway, because it turns at the top and I'm going down that street. So it makes sense to cross over, doesn't it? But obviously I got so far and realised that I couldn't actually across there. So, God, I've said so loads of times, haven't I? So I suppose it's different from M. But yeah. So it just done it again. It just makes us feel a little bit like anxious, and I feel like there's kind of a knot in my stomach, and there's part of us that's thinking just go back, because you don't really need to go along here right now, which I don't, but I want to eventually have done it so that I know I can get there to go to a pub down the bottom end to meet friends for food and stuff. But also because looks like it's gonna rain, which, you know, I really don't need the rain. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pause this till I get to the end of this road, because I know that I can get along here, and I know it's fine. So I'll be back in a sec. So I've crossed this, or is it a four-way, whatever it is. You can see the windmill over there in the background, and this is the way I'm going. I don't know if you can see how bad that looks, but that tree is causing this bit. Wait, shit. My God. I don't think it looks as bad on here, but to me, I don't think I can get the angle of that. It really scares me, you know. It just, man, I'm like, should I just do it? And I know you probably can't see how angled that is, but I'm kind of debating about just going back. Yeah. Hello again. Sorry. I got a bit upset. Just frustration, I think, and just wanting to be able to do things I can't, I guess. I don't even know if I'm going to put this up, but Christ. Oh man. I think I'll just whip in this park for 5 minutes. Calm myself down, I think. Well, at least the knot in my stomach's gone and the feeling of needing to be sick. Christ. I get really frustrated that I can't do things that I just want to. And also the kind of fear of, am I going to be able to get down there, or because sometimes I don't think you can see the angles on the camera, but there's like angles, and so not only is the drop downs, but there's total angles, and the states of the path. If the back, because I've got like a back wheel, so there's like 4 wheels and then a back one that allows it to turn, but if there's not enough turning space, I can't turn, obviously, because the back one sticks off. And then also, to be able to straighten up again, I need enough space, because the wheels go forward before they straighten. So, but I'm kind of angry as well, because I want to be able to do it. I'm angry at myself for not just trying it. Because how will I know if I can do it if I don't try it? But then it's not always that easy, and especially given the state of some of the paths, and it's just frustrating. It can then lead you into like, oh, if only I'd sorted myself out sooner, and I never. Yeah, I know that's no good going down that road, because to be honest, it's not good going down any road with these wheels, but yeah. I think I was walking past 2 young lads. God, any man. I was going past 2 young lads who were walking past us, and they kind of looked at us, because obviously I think the tears were all over my face, and I was trying to keep myself calm, which wasn't working, and then and they went so far ahead of us, and I noticed they were coming back. I think they were, well, hopefully they were kind of just offered to be nice, but I was out because I'd stopped again, that's why. I think I was trying to stop being an idiot. Oh man, I don't know if I'll share this. Then again, it's not all flipping it's not all doesn't always work out, does it? It doesn't always go right. It's part of his wish I'd just done it, because then just to see, but then I was kind of like, will I get back up from there? Will I be able to? Because not only is the dip in the road on an angle, it's then, I don't know. Things are never easy, are they? Maybe I think what I will do is go back with Laura, so that, because I tend to find that she's very encouraging and that helps. And when I've done something quite a few times, like I've been in here loads of times, totally fine, doesn't bother us in the slightest, I don't think about it at all. And so I guess doing something like that is good. Doing it with Laura first, just to get rid of that. And I have gone places myself, without her. Obviously I went to the choir, but to be honest, I'd been that way. Why did I go this way over all this? I'd been down there, because we'd gone to Roker Park and you passed that way, so I literally knew most of it anyway. It was just going inside that was the stress for us in that sense, and that anxiety, whereas like going along here, and then obviously you hit one issue, like not being able to get up the side after crossing the path, not being able to get up the side because there wasn't enough turning space for us to cross over the road, so then I had to cross the whole road, that being the first issue. It then builds on, I guess, your anxiety and your fears when you're already trying to fight those, and although they're nowhere near what they used to be, are massively changed, but yeah. God knows what my face looks like. I've probably got like black mascara all over. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on. I'm fine now. I just I'm gonna do that again, but I'm gonna go with Laura, and I'm gonna even try the other side of the road and see if that's not as hasn't got the steepness that I really don't think you could see on camera anyway. But yeah, so thanks very much. I'm going to go home now. Bye everyone. Hello everyone. I am fine, obviously. And I was fine, by the time I left the park I was completely fine. I think what I've come on the end for really is just that I wanted to show that how, like, and I'll admit this myself, but before I was in the wheelchair I didn't realise how many issues there would be. I didn't really think about it. It didn't occur to us. All I could think, if someone was in a wheelchair permanently, I would just kind of think, oh, they just can't use their legs. Didn't really think about the whole of everything else. So the issues with the pavements and the drop down curbs and all those things. And then also I think basically what happened was, whenever I go somewhere new I do get a bit anxious, get that sort of knot in the stomach, sort of feel a bit sick. When things started going wrong, as in the drop curb that I couldn't get up next to the church after the shops, I will insert a picture of my wheelchair, and it's got like a whole turning circle, so there's just no way that I could go up there and turn. It was the same with crossing the roads, obviously, especially like the middle part, there's no way I could turn. So by the time I got to that bank, which to be honest, now I think about it, although it was kind of steep, I probably could have done it, but I think I'd get anxious over not getting up that curb, then the road, and then the corner where the pub was, the Grange. It's really tight there, and if the wheel hits like a sort of dip in the path or whatever, my wheels can sort of shoot off one way, and it's a bit sort of a shock, I guess, especially being that there's not that much space there, because then obviously if it goes over the side, the whole thing would tip. And I know that's like the extreme, but it is something that you think of. It's not natural to be at a different angle, because usually, and for most of my life, when I've been sitting, I've been flat. No one goes around at an angle, and whether that's just because the path's angled, or the road, or the drop downs, or there's banks, you know, there's so many of them. Like, didn't really think about it before, and I honestly didn't think about it. And so by the time I got there, there's a part of it that like now wishes I'd just did it, because I think had I done it, it would have been fine. But you know, it's done now. I will go back there. I will go back and I will do it. I'll probably ask Laura to come with us, and we may, you know, hopefully when we do get the Bluebell, which is where I was going to try and have a look, to see if I could go in there, because I know it does have disabled access. Then we'll have a wee dinner out or something. But there's also the other side of the road I could try as well, to go down that way as well. So yeah, I will do it again. I just kind of wanted to show the other side. I did debate about sharing this, because obviously I suppose normally we just, a lot of it is positive on here, I think, but I didn't want to kind of just show all the good bits, and there's been billions of them, so I'm not gonna like thingy, and I really appreciate Robo Bitch over there, but like I said, it is an odd thing when you're going down a bank and you're at an angle and you kind of like, you know, thinking this is weird. Plus the wheelchair manual only gives you like a 6% incline, or is it incline or decline or whatever it's called, bank or going down, so it's only 6% that they say is safe. And I know they do that because obviously they don't want to get sued. The guy who did my wheelchair driving test, he said, always just listen to the wheelchair, you can hear if it's struggling or not, or whatever. And sometimes some of the banks is just like literally just a straight thing, and you're just like, whoa. But also I kind of wanted to do this video was initially meant to be just to show you how going somewhere new can be challenging if you've never been before, looking for which way to go down. And although I did look on Google Maps before I left, you can't always see how steep something is. And I was also going to include like a bit about sort of getting, you know, having the carers and stuff, and realising that if I do go out, then I have to rely on someone to be here or come here, or I have to be back for a certain time for those people to fit in. So, which I'm not going to lie, is sometimes a bit frustrating, because I'm like, I can't just get up and go. There's not a possibility. I have to plan it, and sometimes you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? You just want to go and do something or whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to come on the end of this to say that I'm fine, and that, you know, I will go back. I will do it. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.